So when we speak, we have to move our mouth and muscles in our mouth. The problem is that when you speak English, you use your vocal muscles the same way you would use that in your native language. Pronunciation is not a big problem because usually people understand what you want to say. You can improve your pronunciation by a great technique which can help you a lot. This technique is very simple and useful. In this method, you simply copy the sound which you hear. As children learn their first language, they copy their parents again and again. If you learn English pronunciation in the same way, YouTube some videos on audio recording which you can understand very well. You listen and you copy what you hear when you hear it. You can search it on YouTube by name of shadowing technique. You can find shadowing videos, watched these videos and tried shadowing 3 to 5 minutes daily before the presentation. Search a place where you can do shadowing alone for about 10 minutes. This was very interesting. I have not heard about this technique before. When the class is over, I went to the school reception. The lady at reception told me we have a football team. I was very happy because sport is my important in my life. I met a lot of players from different countries. I was very happy that my time in England started well. I have a great teacher and some new friends from football team. When you want to have a good pronunciation, repeat after native speakers. On next day at school, there was a new student, Jenny, and she is from Paris. My teacher asked some questions to Jenny. It was a class for beginners and it was only for 2 weeks during summer holidays. When Jenny speaks, her pronunciation is very good and she is fluent. Teacher said to Jenny, "Your school is Paris must be good." Jenny says, "I learned English at home only. I use techniques that I learned from you. I do a lot of reading, shadowing, and practice aloud. I think more in English than my mother language. This is how I work on my English." She says, "You showed me the way. This is why I wanted to join your class again because 1 year ago I was a beginner and now I can speak English. I want to learn from you. Again, teacher." Our teacher appreciated Jenny for her hard work. It is all very interesting for me. I am confused about what is thinking aloud. Who's Jenny talk about? Then I asked our teacher, "Tell me about what is thinking aloud." Teacher replied, "It is a very effective technique and a little crazy for some people. When you start to think aloud, your English can be better very fast. Teacher, please can you teach us this technique? You think in your native language all day. It is not important. Now you can start think in English. Anil, when you start to think in English, then you can think aloud. And moreover, I think Jenny can tell you more about this technique. Jenny said, "When I started think this technique, it was not easy. I started with my simple sentences. Example goes, I can speak English. I want to be better. I need to practice every day. I don't know many words, but I can use these words. This is great." The sentences were really simple, but at the beginning I have faced many problems. I needed to find a simpler form of English. To think in English was the hardest part. But with the passage of time, it became normal for me to think in English. Then something interesting incident with me. I met a man from Holland, was on holiday in Spain. We started to speak English each other. I was able to speak with him. My sentences were simple, but I was able to speak. This thinking aloud technique helped me more in speak English. I still use it every day. Our teacher and all the students thanked Jenny to share her experience about this technique. When you want to speak English fluently, think aloud. I want to give you some more advice. When you want to learn English, read, listen, think and speak. Do each activity for 30 minutes daily. You can read, listen, and shadow hearing our basic English stories.